Your cat curls on your chest after a difficult day, and you feel a warmth spread through you. You think she has come to comfort you, drawn by some emotional sixth sense that lets her feel your sadness. That much is true, but it is missing the deeper, stranger truth. Your cat is not reading your emotions. She is scanning your body for hormonal, muscular, and chemical shifts that happen long before you even know you are upset. And she can do this because her brain evolved on a different evolutionary track than yours, one built entirely around detecting the slightest threat in the landscape around her. You are the largest landscape in her world, and she reads you with the precision of a forensic instrument every single second you are in the same room. If you have ever felt proud that your cat seems to know exactly when you need her, you are not wrong. But you are seeing only the surface of a much older, more powerful mechanism. The comfort she gives you is real, but the reason she gives it is not the one you think. Let us start with the obvious, comfortable layer. You have probably heard that cats can sense human emotions. You have maybe seen the videos of cats approaching crying owners or curling up with someone who is ill. Social media, well-meaning friends, even some pet websites reinforce this idea. It sounds lovely. It sounds like your cat has a kind of emotional telepathy, a gentle bond that transcends language. This is the map most owners carry in their heads. Your cat sees you sad, feels your pain, and comes to offer comfort like a small, furry therapist. It is a beautiful image, and it is almost completely backward. The truth starts not with emotion, but with physiology. Your body is a chemical broadcasting station, and you have almost no control over its signal. Every emotional state you experience triggers a cascade of autonomic responses. Your heart rate changes, your breathing deepens or becomes shallow, your sweat glands alter the composition of the oils on your skin, your pupils dilate or contract, and your muscles shift in ways too subtle for any human eye to see. You cannot feel these changes happening. You are blind to your own broadcast. But your cat is not. Kittens begin reading their mother's autonomic state within days of birth. They learn to associate a drop in milk letdown with the rise in maternal stress hormones. They feel the tension in her flank before she moves. They hear the change in her purr frequency before she stops feeding them. By the time a kitten is 8 weeks old, she is already a fluent reader of mammalian autonomic signals because her survival depends on it. A mother who is too distressed to hunt or defend her young is a direct threat to the kitten's life. So the kitten's brain wires itself to detect those signals before they become full-blown behaviors. Your adult cat brings this same software into your home. She is not learning to read you. She already knows how to read any mammal she lives with. She is just applying a lifelong skill to a new subject. Consider the olfactory layer first, because it is the one most owners never think about. You cannot smell your own emotional state. You cannot smell the shift in your cortisol levels, the increase in adrenaline metabolites, the change in your skin's fatty acid profile when you are anxious or angry. But for a cat, these scents are as clear as a neon sign blinking in a dark room. Cats have approximately 200 million olfactory receptors in their nasal cavities, compared to your 5 million. That is 40 times the sensitivity. But it is not just the raw number of receptors that matters. It is how the cat's brain processes them. Cats possess a specialized organ called the vomeronasal organ, located on the roof of their mouth, which is dedicated entirely to detecting pheromones and chemical signatures from other animals. When a cat opens her mouth slightly after sniffing something, the Feline response, she is drawing airborne chemicals across this organ to analyze them at a depth you cannot even imagine. Every time you come home stressed from work, your cat inhales your chemical signature and reads a full status report of your autonomic state. She knows within seconds whether your cortisol is elevated, whether your adrenaline is spiking, whether your immune system has been activated by inflammation. She reads this data before you have even taken off your coat, and she adjusts her behavior accordingly. This is not emotional intuition. It is chemical surveillance, and it is happening constantly. You now know that your cat is running a constant chemical scan of your body. This is not a metaphor, it is biological fact. If you want to go deeper into the hidden behaviors that most owners never see, subscribe so you do not miss the revelations that follow. And in the comments, write the word chemical surveillance if you have ever caught your cat reacting to a mood you had not yet felt. If you have ever watched your cat suddenly leave the room for no apparent reason, and then moments later you realize you are feeling angry or frustrated, you have witnessed this mechanism in action. Your cat did not leave because she guessed you were about to get upset. She left because she detected the autonomic spike that precedes your anger. Her brain registered the chemical shift, the pupil dilation, the change in your breathing rate, the microtension in your jaw, and she calculated that the probability of a loud noise or sudden movement had just increased by an order of magnitude. She did not wait for the anger to arrive. She detected its biological advance guard and moved to a safer position. Now here is where it gets stranger. Your cat is not just reacting to your current state, she is anticipating your next state. And she does this so quickly that it feels like she is reading your mind. She is not reading your mind. She is reading the physiological precursors of your mind's next decision. One of the most fascinating threads in feline behavioral science comes from research into the timing mismatch between human emotional awareness and feline detection. Human beings experience an emotion approximately 3 to 5 seconds after the underlying autonomic change has already begun. You do not feel anger until your heart rate has already risen, your blood has already been redirected to your muscles, and your breathing has already shallowed. Your conscious mind lags behind your body by a measurable interval. Your cat does not experience this lag. She detects the autonomic change as it happens. So from your cat's perspective, she is reacting to something you have not yet felt. This creates a strange dynamic between you. Your cat sometimes seems to know what you are going to do before you do. She does. She is reading the physiological prelude to your behavior, and she has been doing it every day of her life with you. This is the strange truth. Your cat lives a few seconds ahead of your own emotional awareness. If you want to stay with us for the rest of this journey and learn how to decode the signals she sends in return, subscribe to keep walking through this hidden world. And drop the word prelude in the comments if you have ever witnessed your cat anticipating your next move. If you have ever felt confused when your cat avoids you on a day when you feel perfectly calm, consider this possibility. You may feel calm in your conscious mind, but your body may be broadcasting a different signal, a low-grade tension you have normalized, a subtle elevation in baseline stress, a lingering metabolic trace from yesterday's argument. Your cat is reading that signal even though you have no access to it. She is not rejecting you. She is responding to data you cannot perceive. But the reading goes both ways. Your cat does not just read your autonomic state. She also tries to regulate it. And this is where the purring on your chest becomes something far more complex than comfort. When your cat presses her forehead to yours and begins to purr, she is not just bonding. She is deploying a mechanism that affects your nervous system directly. The frequency range of a domestic cat's purr falls between 25 and 150 Hz. This frequency range has been documented in veterinary research to promote bone density healing, reduce pain, and lower stress markers in the cat's own body. But it also affects the mammals around her. When a cat purrs while in contact with you, the vibrations transmit through your chest wall and into your thoracic cavity. This mechanical stimulation can lower your heart rate, reduce your cortisol levels, and trigger a parasympathetic response in your nervous system. In other words, your cat's purr is a biological intervention designed to bring you back to a state she considers safe. She does not purr on your chest because she understands the abstract concept of sadness. She purrs because she detects an autonomic deviation from her baseline reading of you, and she deploys a tool she evolved to bring mammalian nervous systems back into equilibrium. The tool works, you feel better, and you attribute it to love, which is not wrong, but it is incomplete. Your cat is literally calibrating your nervous system with her voice. Now consider what this means for the moments when you are genuinely distressed. You are crying. Your shoulders are shaking. Your breathing is erratic. Your cat, from across the room, has already detected this state. Her decision to approach or not approach is not random. It is based on a complex calculation involving your current chemical profile, your movement patterns, the volume and pitch of your vocalizations, and her past experience of how you behave in this state. If she approaches, she is not doing it because she feels your pain. She is doing it because her survival algorithm has calculated that the safest thing she can do is to stabilize you. Her own safety depends on your stability. You are the largest variable in her environment. When your autonomic state becomes chaotic, her environment becomes unpredictable, and unpredictability is a predator's best hunting ground. This is the uncomfortable truth beneath the comfort. Your cat's bond with you is real, but it is also strategic. Every interaction she has with you is filtered through a constant, automatic assessment of your threat level. She loves you, but she also monitors you, and the two are not contradictory. They are the same mechanism expressed through different behavioral outputs. If this is beginning to feel like a lot of information to process, stay with me, because it gets more layered. Your cat not only reads your current autonomic state and tries to regulate it, she also forms long-term predictive models of your behavior based on thousands of previous interactions. This is not anthropomorphism. This is basic mammalian neurobiology. Your cat's hippocampus and amygdala, the brain regions responsible for memory and emotional processing, build a statistical map of your behavior patterns over time. She knows, with a degree of accuracy that would surprise you, how likely you are to become agitated at certain times of day, in certain rooms, after certain events. Veterinary behaviorists have documented that cats living with humans who have consistent daily routines show lower baseline cortisol levels than cats living with humans whose schedules are erratic. This is not because the cats understand the concept of a schedule. It is because their predictive model of human behavior works better when the human is predictable. When the model works, the cat's stress is lower. When the model fails, the cat's stress rises. Your cat is constantly running a simulation of your future behavior and updating it every time you do something unexpected. Now apply this to the moments when you think your cat is being aloof or distant. You call her name. She flicks an ear but does not move. You feel ignored. But consider what is happening from her perspective. She has just finished running a predictive simulation based on your current chemical state, your posture, the time of day, the ambient noise level, and your recent behavior history. Her simulation has told her that you are likely to remain stationary for the next several minutes. She has optimized her position accordingly. When you call her, you are asking her to abandon a prediction that has already been confirmed by her sensory data. She is not ignoring you. She is trusting her model more than she trusts your vocalization. This is a profound mismatch between your internal experience and her internal experience. You experience the moment as rejection. She experiences it as confirmation that her predictive model is accurate. You are both right from your own perspective, but you are living in different temporal and sensory realities. I need to point out something here that might make you uncomfortable. You have probably spent years interpreting your cat's behavior through an emotional lens. You have told yourself stories about what she feels, what she thinks, what she intends. Those stories are not useless. They are the framework that allows you to bond with an animal whose inner world you cannot fully access. But the stories are also limiting you. They are preventing you from seeing the actual, measurable, biological relationship that exists between you. Your cat is not a mystery. She is a biological intelligence that has evolved to read mammals, and you are the mammal she reads most closely. If you have ever felt a pang of guilt when your cat hides after you have had a stressful day, understand that you were feeling the correct emotion but directing it at the wrong target. Your cat is not hiding from your anger. She is hiding from the autonomic spike that precedes it, and she is hiding because her evolutionary programming tells her that a mammal in an elevated state of arousal is an unpredictable threat, regardless of whether that mammal loves her. Your guilt about your anger is irrelevant to her. She does not care about your guilt. She cares about the chemical data she is reading in real time, and the only way to change that data is to change your actual physiological state, not your conscious emotional narrative. This brings us to the counterintuitive truth. The more your cat loves you, the more closely she monitors you. The more she monitors you, the sooner she detects deviations from your baseline. And the sooner she detects deviations, the more often she will appear to anticipate your moods before you feel them. Her precision is a direct function of her investment in you. A cat who ignores you is a cat who has not bothered to build a detailed predictive model of your behavior. A cat who reads you with unnerving accuracy is a cat who has invested significant neural resources in understanding you. If your cat leaves the room seconds before you explode, that is not a sign of distance. That is a sign of deep attunement. She has learned your pre-explosion signature so accurately that she can spot it before you can. She is not abandoning you. She is executing a survival protocol that her evolutionary history has refined over tens of thousands of years of living alongside large, unpredictable mammals. You are safer for her to be around when you are stable. She is safer when she removes herself from the blast radius. And she loves you enough to stay nearby when she judges the risk to be acceptable. Think about the last time you had a truly bad day and your cat stayed by your side the entire time. That was not a guarantee that she felt your sadness. That was a risk assessment. She calculated that the short-term danger of being close to a dysregulated mammal was outweighed by the long-term benefit of stabilizing you. She risked her own safety to bring you back to equilibrium. That is not less meaningful than emotional intuition. That is arguably more meaningful. She chose to stay, against her own survival programming, because the bond you have built outweighs the threat signal you are broadcasting. Your cat notices your mood because she has to. Her survival depends on reading the mammals around her with the precision of a cardiologist reading an electrocardiogram. She notices the micro-shifts in your breathing, the pupil dilation, the scent profile, the muscle tension, the heart rate variability that you yourself cannot perceive. She reads your body the way you read a book, without effort, automatically, continuously. And everything she does in response to that reading is an attempt to make her world more predictable and safe. Your cat weighed her own survival against your need and chose you. That is not less meaningful. It is more so because it is a deliberate risk. If you are ready to reciprocate that trust and learn the silent language she speaks, subscribe now so you are here when we decode it. And in the comments, write the word stabilize if your cat has ever stayed by your side during your hardest moments. Now here is the question that will carry us forward. If your cat reads you with this level of precision, and if her behavior is a direct response to data you cannot perceive, then how do you learn to read her back with the same accuracy? How do you decode the signals she sends when she is trying to tell you something about yourself that you cannot see? The answer lies in a different sensory channel, one that your cat uses constantly and that you have been almost completely blind to. You have learned to read her purr, her tail position, her ear orientation. There is a layer of communication happening just below those signals, invisible to most owners, that tells the complete story of what your cat is actually processing. In the next chapter, we decode that layer, the microsignals your cat sends when she is testing whether you are safe enough for her deepest vulnerability. Because now you know she reads you. The question is whether you are ready to read her back.